So Senzo Tunu seemingly had a strategy himself. I'm going to bore the living hell out of South Africans, so much so that they will end up, clicking off so that I can get away with stuff that are a bit contradictory to what I said in the ad hoc committee. I also noticed some omissions about Dr. De Haas, the person that inspired Senzo Mchunu, the absent and suspended police minister, inspired him to disband the PKTT because it was not adding value to the South African police force. We did not hear that. Oh, but the chart came out to play, and we're like, yeah, there goes that lecture again. That makes no sense. The matter that we are here for, Mr. Senzo Mchunu, is you on the 31st of December, when all of us are running around like headless chickens, putting together a pre-New Year party. You have kids screaming, you got visitors to attend, you are like, okay, when is the New Year coming? And then we are having fun, we are crying, we are partying, we are listening to the song of the year, which one we are debating amongst each other, what's high goes over, and then you are looking at radio stations, which one is more credible when it comes to this sort of things. And then come 11:59, and then we start counting down. When are you busy scribing a letter to disband the PKTT immediately, which is another omission I did not hear today, the defense of, or the definition of the word immediately, which was quite interesting. You were quite sneaky there. But then again, I was like, wait a minute, what is that thing that's hanging from his ear? Is that an earpiece? Oh my goodness, it is an earpiece. So somebody is talking to him through his ear. I get it. Because when I heard that he's been legally represented by one of my favorite senior counsels in the country, whom I think he is super intelligent. When I say super, like super intelligent, Lokai Toby. I was like, okay. It's part of nature. I think I'm catching it. But hey, Lokai Toby. And I'm like, nice play, Mr. Senzo. Nice play. You got the best of the best that we've got in the country. And I'm gonna sneeze again. Reality TV. So I'm like, that's great. But the earpiece part, I was asking myself several questions, and then I tried to put myself in Senzo Mchunu's shoe. And I was like, yeah, I think as well, I would like to know at what point do I answer, at what point don't I answer, because this is not the ad hoc committee where it's a rugby field. This is a formal, legal, I know the ad hoc committee is just as much, but we are dealing here with legal eagles. We have a retired constitutional court justice. We got two very sharp senior counsels in Kumalo and Baloy. And then you have very fiery and extremely smart evidence leaders and their juniors. So yeah, I would also want somebody whispering in my ear at what point or what questions should I answer and which ones not to answer, so that I don't end up like Dr. Mashazi and end up going like this, and like that, and like this, and then, so that I don't end up doing something like that. Not that I would ever do something like that. I'll be very respectful. I will always be respectful. But I'm just saying, to curb things of that nature. So yeah, so I guess, I don't know if it is Advocate Ngoega Toby that would be whispering in that earpiece of the minister. But minister, the point that we are here for is, why on the 31st of December 2024, you decided to disband the PKTT. Now, as South Africans, and you know us South Africans, some of us got 2 IQs like myself, others have 4, 10, 30, 100, 130, 2 geniuses. And they are watching this process, and all of us have the same conclusion, because this is a political unaliving task team, and we are headed towards the 2026 local government elections. And around this time, of course, this scourge, it peaks, it spikes. Currently in KwaZulu-Natal, we'll be hearing a potential councillor candidate that was elected or nominated in their branch, or maybe people are talking about them because they would caucus and all of that stuff, just like how they are caucusing for you. I think, I'm just thinking, because listen, I understand how the ANC works. Well, some time ago, I talked about the ANC NGC, that you only need 10% of the party membership to unseat the president if the NEC fails to do so. Now, there are reports saying exactly what I said. And they are denying, there are some denials. Of course, people are going to deny it. But the constitution of the ANC does allow people, whether this is discussed or not discussed, it's still the right of the members to do what? To recall the president if they want to, using the 10% of their membership. Anyways, I digressed. Coming back to the political unalivings. As a person whom has been accused, or at least we, the public, have been told by the likes of Brown Mokgotsi that you want to stand as the president of the ANC, subsequently that of the country. And of course, you are going to have people that are going to compete with you. The ANC Women's League have said, oh, we think we also have a candidate in Togo Tidiza, the current Madam Speaker of the National Assembly. And of course, to win the ANC presidency, you need to secure KwaZulu-Natal. It's a fact. KwaZulu-Natal plays a pivotal role in any ANC person taking the apex office of the ANC. It's KwaZulu-Natal. And this is where these political unalivings are prevalent. So that is why we are here, sir. That what was the reason behind you disbanding such an important, whether you call it a unit or you call it a task team or whatever the case might be, and why it shouldn't be more prevalent now? I'm talking about the PKTT, when the spike is about to show up as we are headed to the 2026 local government elections. Shouldn't you say we are renewing the life of the PKTT so that it curbs any spikes in political unaliving in KwaZulu-Natal and elsewhere? And that is why we heard the police commissioner saying he's never seen a minister this angry when police are actually doing their jobs. So that is something that I would like to hear the answer to. That's why you're here, not to educate us about the differences between a police unit, a police task team, and the duration or lifespan. We are not interested in that. We are interested in how the people's lives that were taken and families left behind, probably in a very horrible situation in life, probably their breadwinner gone, they are gone back to poverty, or they're living their lives in fear. Do you see the ripple effect of disbanding the PKTT? The case that haunts me, which I'm going to talk about not so long time to come, is the case of the lady in the Eastern Cape, Mtwa. Is it Mtwa? That case gives me sleepless nights. And PKTT was onto it. PKTT was onto it. Amongst the 121 dockets that were taken to Shadrach Sibiya in Pretoria, That docket was there. So this thing that you were trying to do to bore us, that living dead out of us, it was unnecessary. And we were watching, by the way, in as much as this was to chase us away. I was like, I'm staying. I would rather go through it like pulling tooth without the anesthetics, whatever it's called. That, yeah, I would do that. But I think under cross-examination, this is where we are actually going to get the truth. Because under cross-examination, in as much as I think you are well put together, you're going to crack. And I had hoped that you would come to the Madanga Commission for Inquiry after realizing that South Africans did not believe you when you were in the ad hoc committee. What makes you think that in the Madanga Commission for Inquiry, we're going to say, oh, finally, the minister is telling us what we need to hear? What was the reason behind disbanding the PKTT, especially now that we are headed to the local government elections? To me, lives are being saved with the existence of the PKTT in 2026. Lives. So whether that it threatens your ambitions to become the president of the ANC, I don't know. But from where we are seated and rubbing our IQs together, it's not looking good, sir. And what other comrades of yours we are asking ourselves that you are protecting by disbanding the PKTT? How close to home were the PKTT to make arrests of people you probably know? How close were they? Because the word immediately, it doesn't sit well. It sends shivers down one's spine. Anyways, I don't know. But cross-examination on Thursday is going to be interesting. I don't know, did I hear correctly that Juju Mkhwanazi is going to be next on the stand? So that means it's a one-day event like Dr. Mashazi. It's going to be interesting to hear what he has to say for himself. And I wonder who is the other person that was supposed to come, but now we're going to see them next year because they asked for a postponement. I know that the report ought to be put together and prepared for the 17th of December, the preliminary report, and handed over to the president of the country. So that means Friday would be the last day, I guess, for the Madanga Commission of Inquiry while they go prepare the preliminary report. And then on the 17th of December, I don't know if the president is going to address the nation or it's something that we are going to hear about in the new year. Because it's going to tell us I need to apply my mind to what I am reading. Okay, I don't know. But unfortunately, Mr. Senzo Mchunu, I hope on Thursday when you are under cross-examination, because it's going to get hot for you. Pretty hot. That, just relent and let the truth out. Period. At this point, I think your political career is over. So you've got nothing to lose at this point. Well, when it comes to presidential ambitions, that's not going to happen anymore. Even if they say you were, an angel, the ANC ain't coming back in power in 2029, unfortunately. So that will be like blowing in the wind if you have presidential ambitions, unless there's a plan to rig the elections, like massively and aggressively rig the elections. I don't know. But yeah, this is South Africa at the end of the day. And this is what we are subjected to. Let me leave the video right here and I will see you guys next time. But before you leave, smash me the like button. And let's hear what Mr. Mkhwanazi has to say for himself. Goodbye.